Hello. I'm hoping you can hear that lovely music in the background. I haven't gone live in quite a while. It's literally been, I think, 8 months. And I'm using StreamYard, and they have these new fun music clips you can add. So I don't know if I can maybe I can watch this. Oh, I was trying to fade it out. Oh, there it goes again. Hello, everyone. Again, been a while since I've been live. And I'm excited. I just woke up this morning feeling like I wanted to go live. I don't know what's going on, but I felt like excited and quickly wrote down some things I wanted to talk about. And the topic, as you can see here on the screen, is, let's see, it's backwards, how to set a revenue goal. As we all approach 2023, it's big looming questions of what will happen. How will our economy hold up? How will our businesses hold up? What are the opportunities? And this is a really, really, really exciting conversation that I would love to have. Hi, Joyal. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here today. Waving from Southern California. Hello. But I think this is such an important topic. And I have a couple of reasons why I think in particular this is so important. So first of all, I think that it's important to say what happened in 2022 and is the same thing going to happen in 2023? Do we actually know, and how do we do our best as business owners to ensure that we're setting ourselves up for success and we don't simply rely on what happened in the past, right? Things have shifted, the economy has shifted, and guess what else has shifted? You have shifted. You have changed. Your clients' problems have changed, and the environment, the ecosystem that your business lives in has probably changed as well. And so it's really important that we sort of take a look at the before and the after, or the what's happened previously, to sort of look at the future and say, what can we do to make sure that we're filling the gaps between what happened and what might not continue to happen, and make sure we're shoring up our businesses to bring in the revenue that we want and need to sustain ourselves. Okay. Just quickly, I'm Celina Guerrero, and I am your host of the Thrive Biz Chat. This is where I talk about all the things that are so important to running successful service-based businesses. I've had people here before who are bringing in different perspectives to really talk about all of the different things required to run successful service-based businesses. So this applies to service providers, consultants, freelance executives, anyone who is not in the product business, but in that service-based pocket where things are going to be different. The idea of service-based businesses is that it requires a tremendous amount of trust, and we can look at a lot of different aspects of what the uniqueness of a service-based business is and how we can continue to improve our businesses in terms of the services we provide, in terms of how we generate clients, in terms of how we run our businesses, and how we create, of course, this is the dream, right, which is sustainable businesses. All right. So before I actually just get started and talk about how you can set a revenue goal, you can also see on this screen, again, it's backwards, this note here says register today, roadmap to revenue 2023. So I think it's next week now, right? November 17th, that's a Thursday at 11 a.m., excuse me, Pacific time, 11 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Okay. I'm going to be running a 1-hour workshop. It's a free workshop. The last time I did it was a year ago. So it's been 1 year. I run this on an annual basis, and it's basically 60 minutes together to help you look at what revenue do you want to achieve in 2023? What do you actually need to do in terms of your marketing sales to achieve that goal? Okay. It's that simple. And I am never, I'm always quite, no, I won't say surprised. The workshop has been really transformative for some people to look at their businesses in a different way And especially in the service-based businesses where we often just get we start off with referrals, we get contracts, subcontracts, we get recurring contracts, right? We're not always focused on doing the marketing and sales activities that are going to basically result in a specific outcome. And as a result of that, revenue. Often we're looking at what is coming to us, what is coming into our business, as opposed to what's the goal? Who do we want to work with? How do we reach out to them? How do we make sure that we're really deciding for ourselves what is the goal, and then how are we going to get there? And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Okay. Oh, just one quick thing. The button to register is below. You'll find it. If you don't see it below, you will see this here. This is celinaguerrero.com/RR23. That's for Roadmap to Revenue 2023. And again, you can go to my LinkedIn profile. You can go to my website. You can look at the comments here. I'll put it actually in the comment here. That'll be a good idea, won't it? Okay. And then you can register. I would love to see you there. This is for service-based businesses, okay, who want to spend an hour really looking at what do they need to do to achieve the revenue goals, as opposed to oftentimes we just make up a number and hope for the best. Okay, we don't want to do that. All right, so I need to do that actually in LinkedIn. Okay, I will put the registration link in a second. Okay. One quick thing, that is right before in the United States, in America, that is right before the Thanksgiving week holiday. And so it's a perfect time just to like take a minute, take 60 minutes of your day and really reflect on what's about to come down, because as soon as we hit Thanksgiving, then it's like basically 3 weeks and then we're in the holiday season. So this timing is, I think, really excellent, because then you can kind of reflect on what you've come up with during that Thanksgiving week. Obviously, hopefully obviously it would be nice not to have to think about work at all. But I do find that sometimes when we have some time away from the full on day-to-day work, that we come up with good ideas in our businesses and so on. All right, let's see. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about two things. So if you want to just like sit back, relax, here it is. Okay, we're going to look at 2022 and then we're going to look at 2023. And I want to talk about why all of this is so important, and then you should join the workshop on November 17th, because that's when you're going to actually do hands-on work. Okay. But there are three things that typically happen when we reflect on a prior year. In this case, 2022. Okay. Number one, you created a revenue goal. You set a revenue goal. You sat down with your Google Sheets or your Excel or whatever it is that you use, and you said, this is the number we want to hit. And oftentimes in my experience, that comes from basically more than it was the prior year. Right? We're saying, okay, as a business, we want to have continued increase in revenue. Or we just kind of make it up because it sounds nice, I mean, to be honest, right? But good for you, because you decided this is the revenue that I want. And this is the number that I've come up with based on what I want to pay myself, what I need to pay my team, all of those monthly software expenses that you need to run your business, licenses, taxes, right? All of those other business expenses. And you're saying, here's the net number that I really want to reach. Okay. And so what you can do is you can kind of assess, for somebody like you can kind of assess like, okay, well, did that happen or did I not? Did I actually do the revenue plan and then really not track it on a quarterly basis? And the reason for quarterly basis is sounds so corporate and all that, but really it just gives you a fixed, it helps take the big goal and break it down into smaller goals, which are 3-month segments. So it's just a very good number to have, right? Like, let's just reflect on did we hit our revenue goals at each quarter to add up to the whole annual revenue goal. All right. So second, let me move on. So the second option is you didn't create a revenue goal. That's also possible, that you were just getting referrals and everything was awesome. And you had maybe some independent contracts that were coming in, and maybe you are doing some marketing and you're building relationships, and you have enough clients, right? You're getting some money in the door and everything is awesome. So it is possible that your business is actually very successful, but you didn't ever set up a goal. You were just in it, doing the work, feeling good about it. Okay. The third scenario for looking at revenue for 2022 is and this is, maybe I kind of spoke about this already, but it's kind of like you thought you made up a revenue goal, but you either made it up out of the blue. And essentially that third category, what that really is you didn't create a plan to actually get there. Okay, so like I know the New York City Marathon was like this weekend. Those people didn't just show up and run the marathon. They actually had a plan. They joined a group. They had months and months of running. And when they did everything, that is a plan to achieve a goal. The other thing, cake, you don't just like pull together sugar and flour, etc., and just try to build something and then put it in the oven and you don't know how long it's going to be, right? You actually have a recipe to achieve the goal. So when I talk about that third scenario for 2022, it is possible that you're just kind of made it up, but you never actually sat down and said, well, how am I actually going to get that? How am I actually going to achieve that? And what kind of leads do I need to get? What kind of conversion do I need to get into sales conversations or discovery calls? What kind of conversion do I need? And how much would each of those clients generate in revenue, right? And so I find that this is very, very common, again, which is why I'm running this workshop on November 17th. I really encourage you to go. It's going to be eye-opening, I think, for a lot of people. So with that said, the goal here is, let me go back to my banner here, right? We're trying to understand, how do we set a revenue goal, okay? So let's move on to that. So the first thing is understanding kind of where were you in 2022? And then we need to look at 2023. And we're basically saying, okay, do we expect the same things, right? Those referrals, do you think you're going to continue to get those referrals in 2023? Those, speaking gigs, maybe you got a lot of clients from a speaking gig. Is that speaking gig going to happen again next year? Right? Do you have recurring contracts? Do you have those signed for 2023? Right? What marketing did you do? And all of this really is based on, did I actually ask my current clients, where did you find me? Because this is, of course, the key question. Okay. So we need to look back on 2022, and then we need to look at 2023, and we need to say, where is the gap? Where is that gap? And then once we're really transparent about that, and we have really like honest with ourselves, right? A lot of in the marketing and sales process, sometimes it's easy to be like, I think that's going to come in, right? And so I just want to say, you really do want to take a look at how you approach revenue in 2022. And then you want to just say, whatever I received, what the clients that I got and where did they come from? Do I expect that again? And I will just say that when you're going into a new year like this, it's very easy to be super optimistic, which I mean, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be optimistic, but I'm saying, let's think big, but let's also have a plan to achieve big. Okay. And especially going into 2023, you might be thinking, okay, you might already be facing some challenges with the economy impacting your business in some way. And if that's the case, maybe your goal is to at least hit the same revenue in 2022. Okay. There's no shame in that. Right. I mean, because the reality is when you have more revenue, it's linked into a lot of different aspects of your business. It's not like, oh, I'm going to have all this revenue. I'm now $1 million revenue a year business, and suddenly I don't have any problems. It doesn't work that way. Everything has to be balanced. Everything has to be correlated. So this is why I think the planning for actually setting the revenue is so important. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much what I want to talk about today. So again, be mindful of what happened last year. Think about what you want to accomplish in 2023 in terms of your revenue. And the best way to start that process is to look at where your clients came from and how much of that do you actually expect will return in 2023. And then if not, what can you do differently? How will you fill that gap going into 2023? Because as I like to say, waiting is not a growth strategy. And so waiting for those referrals and waiting for the people to see this video, right, this live or this podcast, right, or this post, right, for them to wait, as I like to say, for that person to see that and then come to me, which is what we call inbound, right? Inbound, which is nothing wrong with that. That is awesome. I'm loving inbound. This is all inbound what I'm doing right now. But we want to make sure that we're actively participating in doing enough of that and also potentially creating some outbound outreach. That's probably for many people the missing piece that they have a huge opportunity in to revenue to generate more clients and increase that revenue. But that's a separate conversation. Okay. So happy to be here back on lives. It's like really, really fun. I'm like still talking. I have to keep talking. Hopefully this conversation was helpful to you. And I will be doing some lives up in the future. And I hope you register for that the workshop on November 17th. I would love to see you. And again, it's really been very, very, very eye-opening for all the participants who did it last year. All right, I'm out. See you later. Bye. Have a great week. Ciao.